let's do a quick review of the 12 books that I read in May. First up is The Penderwicks at Last. I would give this a 4 stars. It might have been higher if they had included the wedding scene. I was really disappointed that the whole plot was focused around the planning of the wedding and everything, and then the wedding wasn't even in it. And I also wish the ending was a little bit different. I was disappointed that they didn't end with all of the siblings together. Instead, it ended with Lydia and her friends. I wish it had been all of the siblings together. Next, we have The Stolen Heir. I would give this a 3.5 stars. It was an enjoyable read. I thought it was well written. I liked the characters of Wren and Oak, but it wasn't anything super memorable. Then I read By Your Side. This one I would give about 4 stars. I actually really enjoyed it. I think the writing was well done. I liked the characters. I do wish there had been more time in the library. Next was A Stage Set for Villains. Easy 5 stars. This was absolutely incredible. No notes. Go read it now. And then The Night Circus. Absolutely 100% 5 stars. I have not stopped thinking about this book since I read it. The atmosphere was amazing. I loved the dual timelines and all of the characters, and it was just incredible. And then we have Yumi and the Nightmare Painter, and this one was another 5 stars. The world building was really, really well done. I loved the plot and the characters and the different cultures and things. It was really interesting. And then we have Stars Above. This one, maybe like a 3.5. I liked some of the stories, I didn't like others. This is like a collection of short stories from the Luna Chronicles world. And then Fairest, 2.5 stars. It was completely unnecessary to the series. I felt like it was interesting, I guess, to see Levana's backstory and where she came from and everything, but it was really unnecessary. A lot of the content made me uncomfortable, and I kind of wish I just hadn't read it because there's really no point. And then these next 4 I don't own physical copies of. I read them all on Kindle, but we have Picking Daisies on Sundays. That one was actually a 5-star read. I was surprised. It was very enjoyable. I loved the characters. Yeah, it was a really sweet story. Next, we have Release Me, and that one was like a 2-star, if that. More like a 1.5, but I rounded it up to 2 because it has a really pretty cover. I hated that book, honestly. There was no plot. Everything that happened in it could have been done in 100 pages. It did not need to be almost 400 pages. Like, nothing happened. I didn't feel connected to the characters. The only good parts were Warner and Kenji. Like, it wasn't worth it. Next is Places We've Never Been. I think I'd rate that a 4.5. I really, really enjoyed it actually. I loved the road trip setting and the character development and everything. That one was really good. And then I read If All Else Fails. That was my last book that I read of the month, and I think I would rate that about 3.5 stars. It was really good and I enjoyed it a lot when I was reading it, but looking back on it, it doesn't feel like anything special. I don't think back on it a lot. It was all right. And that is all of the books that I read in May. Bye, y'all.